channel. If you have not like and subscribe the channel, please like and subscribe the channel. This is the place where you can learn Microsoft Intune. Today in this video I am going to share you about the new updates about the beta Intune beta API for Windows endpoint security, especially if you are managing your Windows devices and leveraging the Microsoft Intune beta API, just any for reporting or any for anything related to automation. So there is some updates. There is some API has been decommissioned. So as you can see on my screen, this is the article. It's available on Microsoft Tech Community, and if you go through, I will not read this article thoroughly. I will put this article link in my video descriptions, so that you can refer that article and read through. I'll just want to give updates on. So here, starting late starting from March 2025, the Microsoft Graph Beta API, the device management templates and device management intents will no longer support the creation and management of the endpoint security policy for Windows devices. As you can see here, it is mentioned here. I'm just reading this one. And additionally, the following beta API will no longer work for managing administrative templates. So if you are using these fives, right, the device management group policies, policy configuration, policy definition, or templates or intents, it will no longer support starting from March. So what will happen? The old API which is used in the following policy will be replaced with the newer API. Like you see the device management configurations policy, right? Earlier you see group policies, now it will be configuration policy. The new API leverage the newer policy infrastructure to improve accuracy and consistency. And you see all these old API are this one. So you can these are the affected policies. If you are using of any of these affected policy, you should use these new policies. So if you click on here, you'll see what else it will open. And the important thing is, like, security baseline will not be affected by this API change, as they can still be created using the device management intent policy. If you just click on, I will show you. And if you are impacted by this change, right, if you are using any of this old API, you will see, look for this in your message center, and where you can see in the message center, you can go to the tenant administration, and you see the service health and message center. You will see here, right, you will see all these messages, right, if anything is there. And if you are interacting with any of the endpoint security policy or administrative template via any of these old API listed above, or through any automation or PowerShell script to create or retrieve policies from any of these old API, Microsoft recommend to switch to the new Graph API endpoint, which is actually device management configuration policy API for for policy creations, making post requests or corresponding its policy. So if you see here, this is the device management configuration. So if you are using any of these beta, right, the beta version, you should switch to device management configuration policy, and it's available in all the tenants, right. So you have to use like this one, right, and you need permissions to read this one, right. So this is how you can access it. You can copy, right, the device management configuration IC, and response you will get like this one. So if you want to test it, you can always go to the developer.microsoft.com, log in with your credentials in the Graph Explorer, right, and then run the configurations profile, right. If you see the 200, it means success, right. Let's close this one and copy any of these here, right. If you copy and run it here, right? You have to replace this is the get policy, right? And this is the production versions you can use. I would always recommend to use the production version. And if you, I'm just talking about the beta, to switch to beta, right? And then paste it here. Okay, get pasted and switch to beta. So, and you have to put the device management configuration policies ID. So here you have to put the ID here, or if you just put like this one, you'll see forbidden. So where you get the policy ID, you have to go to the, if you have any policies, right, you can go, let's go from where you grab, this is the policy, no, go to the devices configurations, any policy ID, I'm just showing you here, and you see copy the policy ID. No. So from the URL you will see the policy ID, from the URL, and then paste it here. Okay, and if you run, so I think there is some permission, so I don't have the permissions, so I need to keep permissions here. Okay, yeah, application connector read and write, let me grant permission. Okay, so granted the permission. Now let's run. So what permission is required? Refresh it. What are the permissions they are asking? So you can delegated device management configuration read write, device management read write, device management configurations read write. Okay, so we need to add that device management. So here is delegated device. Now device management app read. Refresh it, run this one. So this is, I mean, this is the actually, I don't know, maybe some permission is needed, but yeah, you need these permissions, and then run by the configurations profile right here, you see. So you have to put the policies ID here. So if you get copy, and I'm not sure why not keeping device management configuration policy, not sure I am using STP as graphcraft.microsoft.com. So what is that URL? https graph.beta device management. Yeah, configurations policy. Still say I don't have the permission, so that's why I'm getting forbidden 403. Not sure why, but if I read it, any of these policies, if I cut application, I think there is some permissions required. Let me search device management, device management. Okay, let's get device read. So we need to give permissions here. Yeah, you see here, scope consent is successful, authorization request deny. It's still, I think we need some permissions to run this one. But yeah, once we run these permissions, we'll able to do this, right? So this is how you can give the consent and run the API. I hope you learn how you can use that API and what is the change for the beta API if you are using it. So make sure you should not use the beta API, use the graph API, if you are using for production, right? Till then, thank you, have a good day, bye bye, take care.